Mr. Happy Living here, and I'm happy to be broadcasting from WYTV7 in the beautiful Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina. I love entrepreneurs and health enthusiasts and Krav Maga instructors and wellness event organizers and people from every walk of life that have discovered their reason for being on this planet. And that's why I love Emily Webb. She's all of those things and the founder of Freedom Body Training, a full body rebalancing and reboot that teaches people how to move their bodies to function at its finest. So Emily, welcome to the Something Significant show.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm excited.
Awesome. It's our pleasure. So just tell us what you're doing these days to leave your mark of significance on the world.
Well, as you mentioned, I'm the founder of Freedom Body Training. And really, yes, I want to help people move. I want to help people feel good in their bodies and also have good nutrition and overall holistic wellness because yes, it helps the individual feel good, but it's really my firm belief when people feel better and they're healthy, they have energy to then go out and be better family members, to be better community members, and really make the world a better place. So I have a very eclectic life, but my real want is to really have a positive impact on the world. And when people hurt and they are not well, they're in a survival mode. And when we can inspire people to come out of survival, to be healthy and well and feel good in their bodies, it's like, then we have an impact on the world because it ripples out.
100%. Awesome. So take us back in time. I want to go back to 1995 and know about what was your life like when you were training horses?
Yes, I have a very eclectic life. So I was expected to go to college and I had really no ambition to study much of anything, though I was a straight A student, very good student, but just didn't know what I wanted to do in the world. But I loved horses and I loved riding horses. I've always loved animals. So I went to school to train horses, and I got a degree in teaching people to ride and training horses. And it was a science degree, so pretty interesting there. And while I did train horses for a while, the teaching aspect of that has carried on through my whole life.
Interesting. What school?
It was a little liberal arts college called Lake Erie College in Northern Ohio.
Okay. It sounded like it could have been my alma mater, UC Davis.
Yes, we competed against you all.
There you go. Okay. I'm also interested in back in time, 20 years ago, to what was the catalyst that led to you starting a nonprofit in Guatemala?
Love. So that's how the story begins. So I was a traveler, an explorer, and I went to Central America, and I did fall in love with a man from the United States, but he was already living in Guatemala, and I ended up staying in Guatemala. My life is, a twist and turns. I'm in the flow, and that flow took me to Central America, and I ended up living there for quite some time, 9 years, and after being there for some time and realizing like, oh, wow, me and this man, we're hooking up and we're going to be here. I could not be in a place where I saw so much suffering and need and just kind of live my cushy life, right? It's really easy to go to a poorer country and live a cush life. And my heart has always been to make the world a better place. So I started a nonprofit there, and to this day, I still run that nonprofit. I have employees down there working year round, and it's been a beautiful part of my life. Not just the nonprofit work, but being able to engage with a different culture and really create bonds there. And so we build efficient wood burning stoves for people who cook on open fires in their home, and it is now the leading cause of death in developing countries, indoor air pollution. So it's a huge project, not so sexy, but really important.
Oh, that's incredible. That's good stuff. Okay, let's look forward 10 years. Let's go out to 2030. And how do you envision you're going to be impacting the world at that time?
This is an interesting one because I told you, I'm in the flow of life. I've done a lot of different things, and I had the common thread throughout the life. And, I see myself just getting more authentic, bigger in my own energy and my own ability to inspire and empower people. And I don't know what next 10 years is going to look like, but I'll still be dancing. I'll still be moving. That's for sure. And still be impacting the world. And I hold that mystery open to just allow it to percolate and come to me. And I've done a lot of things, and my real hope is that I can just continue making a larger and larger impact, whatever that is, empowering people, inspiring.
It's a good answer. In whitewater rafting, when you get to a big rapid, you can get out of your raft and scout it out and try to make a plan for where you're going to go. And then you get back in the boat and you go where the water is going to take you. So you can have a plan for 10 years, but that plan is going to go where life takes us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I define significance as doing things you love, in places you love, with people you love, and creating something of value to others. So it's doing and it's giving. But to be a giver, you need excess capacity in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, what are your personal practices, physical, mental, spiritual, financial, emotional? What is it that you do to increase your capacity so you can take good care of yourself and still have more to give to others?
Great. The first thing is really, I take care of the physical body. I take care of my nutrition, and I take care of my body, my own body practice. But I will admit, I'm not the best at self-care. So I have another spin on this question. First, take care of the physicality and the mental, right? I meditate, I take care of all of that. But I think another interesting point is to keep perspective. I keep perspective on life, because if we attach too much to the stress of life, it's like we go tunnel vision, and that takes us down a road where we are less capable. We have less capacity. I keep my day-to-day stresses in check. In comparison, I had 9 years of living in Guatemala with some very, very poor people. Like, I see what struggle is. I'm grateful for what I have in my life. And I keep that perspective. When I have that perspective that is in more abundance and health and wellness, my desire, which has always been throughout my life, my deep desire to make a positive impact in the world, is free to express. When I get bogged down in the stresses of life, politics, environment, all those things, it's like, oh, and then you feel like you're holding the weight of the world, right? So I just keep it in perspective, and that if there's always something else present. So if this is present, this stressful, horrible, violent, whatever it is act, there is, if you just turn and 1 degree in this direction, there's something else beautiful and inspiring and uplifting. And to keep that focus, we can be here and we can be here. And that is really what continues to give me the capacity to give.
I like that. One of the things that I do in that regard is, because if you're looking here and it's horrible, yes, you can shift your perspective. But the other thing I think about is, if I'm not either able or willing to do something to change this horrible thing,
mm-hmm.
First of all, because it's thousands of miles away in some other place that I don't even know the name of the country perhaps, but it's on my living room screen, right? So now all of a sudden I feel all the weight of it. If I can't or I'm not willing to do something about it, then I really shouldn't put energy into it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm much better to look to the right and try to put something into this good thing or help a bad thing here, right?
Yeah. We affect what we can control, what we can affect. And honestly, that my nonprofit work is huge in that. I was a teenager I was a healthy teenager, but I had the weight of the world already on my shoulders, and doing something gives me capacity, right? It warms the heart, it uplifts. Do something to make the people around you healthier and happier. And then we turn back around and we care for ourselves too.
I had the real great fortune to get to know a guy named Frank Shankwitz, and he was the original founder of the Make-A-Wish, the big, huge Make-A-Wish company. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he was terribly, terribly poor, horrible life as a kid. And he met a mentor, Juan Delgado, I think is his name. And the guy took Frank under his under his wing when he was 10 or 12 or years old or something like that. And Juan taught him that, Frank, you have to give back. You always have to give back in life. And Frank says, I don't have anything to give. He says, we all have something that we can give. You can go and weed, this lady's garden because she gives you burritos for school. You can go, we can all do something. And if you're looking at the horrible thing and you feel like you can't do anything, you just do something good. It lifts your spirit, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And that just, it's a compounding effect, right? We get in that flow. We put our mask on first, and then we help others. It's the only way I can handle life, quite honestly.
Yeah, no, very good. Okay, Emily, let's take a commercial break so I can tell everyone about 3 things. A super cool company called Third Rock Essentials, how they can get a 20% discount for life at Happy Living, and how their February purchases will support a great big donation to WYTV7. Mr. Happy Living here. I love good things made by good people. That's why I love Third Rock Essentials, a company founded by a surfer with a PhD that believes all personal care products should be so safe you can eat them. I drink an ounce of chelated silver oxide supplement every day to strengthen my immune system. Third Rock Essentials has all natural sun care, skin care, and silver supplement products I trust. Check them out at happyliving.com and select Partners in Happy. You'll save 20% off all purchases every time you buy using promo code HAPPYLIVING. Plus, for every order placed during the month of February, I'll donate 20% to WYTV7. Okay, we're back, and this is the Something Significant Show, and I'm Matt Gersper. Hey friends, join us in the natural movement toward USA-sourced, toxin-free personal care. Check out our all-natural sun care, skin care, and silver supplement products. Just go to happyliving.com, select Friends of Happy, and shop Third Rock Essentials. And now let's get back to my body movement rock star guest, Emily Webb. She's hosting an online event starting February 11th called Falling in Love with You, where she's bringing more than 20 experts together to share their secrets to ignite your fitness, health, and spirit so you can create the body and life that you want. So Emily, in my second book, Turning Inspiration into Action, I explore the idea that big transformations and discovery of purpose often come from devastation, a terrible illness, a near-death experience, some big crisis shakes your life. But I've found a happier way and created transformations in my life with inspiration. So the question for you, was there a specific moment or a situation when either devastation or inspiration revealed to you the purpose you were meant to live?
First off, I have to say, yes, and I'm all for learning from joy now. Right? I did a lot of learning from pain and devastation, and now I'm on the inspiration and joy path. And it's not a specific instance, it was more of my life, right? I talked about this idea before that if we are in mental or physical pain, that it's like it's hard. There is nothing left to give. We are in survival mode. And quite honestly, I spent several years in that space after recovering some childhood memories that I had blocked out. And it was a really challenging time. I won't go into the big details. Yeah, Matt.
What year was that? Years?
I can tell you how old I was. 27. I was 27 years old. So,
okay. And this went on for a couple of years?
It was a huge part of, more than a couple of years, five plus years of processing and doing personal growth work. So I would say I was already into meditation and things like that from my late teens, early 20s. This event of finding suddenly like the walls caving in just rocked everything, right? And I was in high anxiety all the time and completely fear-based world. I felt it was crazy. And that pushed me even deeper, farther, faster into personal growth work and really wanting to heal from that. And the pivot point that I want to share with people is very clear in my mind. I had just done a process, which I was so happy later on. I became a facilitator for that, which was amazing. I had just done this process that literally just rocked my entire world. Like I didn't even know where I was anymore and how to feel. And I remember I had the thought, some people have stories that are better than mine. Some people have stories that are worse than mine. Some people get over it and some people don't. Which one do I want to be? And from that point forward, I was able to just take that trajectory just slightly over here and be like, I don't want to be stuck in this forever. I want to move forward.
What was the catalyst for that thought? Was it something that just hit you? Was it a feeling? What was one minute you were feeling one way and all of a sudden you had that thought and your life changed?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think caused that? What was that?
It was an accumulation of a lot of pressure, I think, first off. But this workshop that I was in, it was a multi-day event, like a retreat style event. And the process that I had been through, which is 4 hours long, is rather intense. And it goes back to the martial arts. I'll just give you a hint. It goes back to the martial arts part of the experience, which at that time, I had very little experience in, but it was physically, emotionally, everything was challenged in this experience. And it's very powerful for many people. And that pressure, sometimes we have to be under pressure in order, it's like how oil gets made, right? If the trees decompose and they get put under pressure and when we get so much pressure, eventually it changes and it morphs into something new. And when that switch flips, I found for myself, like I couldn't go back. Mm-hmm. Right? It was like, I am anew. Mm-hmm. Now, I had to be very conscious. Every day I continue just inundating myself with inspiring stories, people who are moving forward and doing powerful things in their lives, to train that habit. But I knew from that point on that I was not going to be stuck in anxiety and fear and depressive and closed, shut down thoughts. That I could never go back to again. That victim side of myself, I knew had to go.
That's awesome. And that must have been the part of your evolution into becoming a street fighter.
Yes. Indeed.
Very good. They'll have to look you up to find out about that. Okay. So we've talked about capacity and purpose. And when you combine those two, the sky's the limit. I call it the happy formula. Capacity plus purpose equals happy. But I know the real magic of life comes from the fourth element of significance, doing work that creates value for others. So tell us, how does it feel when a client exclaims that they feel freedom in their body for the first time? What kind of joy does it give you to create value, not just for yourself, but for others?
No, that's what I'm all about, is that moment. In my current work, when somebody's been living in pain, right now I'm working with somebody, for example, who has muscular dystrophy, and I don't want to imply that that's my expertise. It is not. And she came to me because she wanted fresh eyes on her. And in my mind, and I think she intuitively knew this, like I don't set limits on people. I don't care that you have muscular dystrophy or MS or anything else. Like I believe the body can heal and can be whole. And she said she's in awe, just having that different perspective. And she's like, I'm having whole days where I'm completely out of pain. And for me, that is such an amazing gift to be able to give somebody, to retrain their bodies, to retrain their psychology, to take in the health and the nutrition and create that transformation. Because now, whether it's this woman here or somebody else, you can move through the world and I know that it will ripple out, right? They're better partners, they're better family members and community members. And it's like we're taking a ball of energy that was pushed down and finally just taking the weight off of it so they can expand and grow into their most authentic selves, free of pain. And that makes me feel like, I mean, my day is made.
That's great. So give me a minute or so on the falling in love with you. I think this is the first time you've done it. Is that correct? This is year one?
So I'm now doing, since COVID has happened, right? I used to do all live events and a variety of things, martial arts workshops, live dance events, and other health related things. And so I went online. So I did an event in November called Longevity Power, also all about health, fitness, and aging gracefully and amazingly. And so now this next event is called Falling in Love with You. It's over the Valentine's Day weekend, so we're playing with this idea of, rather than find your soulmate and be complete, it's like, let's come in and really get into our health and our fitness and our happiness, right? Of what's going on up here. And so, yeah, this is the second version of this event. It's called Falling in Love with You.
So find your soul and be complete.
Yeah, exactly. And really about creating a life and a you that you love, right? Which gives us the capacity to then spread more love.
100%. And that must be your November event where you met Melissa, our friend.
Yes.
Very good. All right, this is good stuff. Let's wrap things up with the lightning round. It's my favorite way of getting to peer inside your brain a little bit, and everybody can see what you're like. So I'll read one of my favorite quotes, and then you respond. Give us 30 seconds or so, and we'll go through a few of them. You made me think of one I didn't pre-plan for, because of your work in Guatemala and what life is like there and what life is like here. And I don't know the author, but the quote is, "Your day belongs to another's dream."
Okay, I'm ingesting that. That's deep. That's deep. My day belongs to me. It's like what I do, who I am, what my words, my actions affect the world. They affect whether somebody else's dream or reality is beautiful or not.
Awesome. From Michelangelo. I keep saying one of my favorites. They're all my favorites. The sculpture is already complete within the marble block before I start my work. It's already there. I just have to chisel away the superfluous material.
Absolutely. I get this one. I think of my own story and so many people's stories. Our spirit and our heart is always there, right? And for me, I had to chop off, some fear and weight and baggage and really cellular memories, like all those things. And that we're always, the spirit was always there. And the consciousness of however you want to say it, God or consciousness, universe, it's like, I am that, you are that, it's always there.
Yep, so we don't really need to be fixed. We just need to take away the stuff that's not working.
Mm-hmm.
It's very empowering. He was a smart guy. From St. Catherine of Siena. Be who you were created to be, and you will set the world on fire.
I see this, loving who we are. I always wanted to be that person who knew exactly what I wanted to do in the world and had a path that was very straight, and that I could be an expert in this thing, right? Whether it was riding horses, martial arts, dance, yoga, nutrition. And what I have realized is that I am all those things, and that's what makes it great. And that we can be, we don't have to be what society tells us to be. We come in and we figure out that my gift to the world is my eclectic experience, and owning that, allowing that to be, is then just opens the floodgates, for more inspiration to come through and to have a greater impact.
Right on. And you said we don't have to be what the world wants us to be. In fact, we should not be that, because that's not the right thing, right? The world doesn't know. From Shunryu Suzuki, you're perfect just as you are, and you could use a little improvement.
Absolutely. Good. Yeah, I feel like we're all a work in progress. I feel like if we stop that mentality, like we're going through the process of dying, right? So you're either growing or you're dying. And I can love myself, I can love another, because I know that the inner sculpture is there. And also be open to letting go even more, right? There's always more love, there's always more peace, there's always more joy to be had. Gosh, I can't imagine. It would be really depressing to me if I didn't think that way.
Right.
Right? If that this is me and this is all I get, I'm like, oh, dang.
No, it's very limiting. I was at working with a colleague. I was probably about 5 or 10 years older than her. I was maybe in my 40s. And she had gone to a conference and she came back. I said, hey, what'd you learn? Oh, there's nothing left for me to learn. I know everything about this business. And I thought, wow, first of all, that's a little arrogant. Secondly, what a missed opportunity. There's so much. One of my favorites is the more I learn, the less I know. There's so much for all of us to do. Okay, this is the anchor quote of the show from Goth. Whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now.
Begin it now. I love that. Inaction is such a killer of energy, and their fear also killer of energy. And the worst part about it is we are creatures of habit and inertia. And once you're kind of in that state of like, I don't want to commit, it's like, that's the state we're in, right? Whether it's committing to your own health, committing to learning a program, whatever it is, and action, bold action, just throws us in. And then from there, we start to realize that we have more capacity to rebound, to grow, to learn than we ever thought. We don't give ourselves enough credit for what we are capable of. And, I'm a big fan. And sometimes, I timidly, I test the water. Of course, we want to be smart about it. But when I went to Guatemala, I had no idea I was going to move there. Right. And instead, I'm really into freedom, this freedom of exploration and giving ourselves the choice, right? To say, like, I can do this and I can move into that and I can see what it's like. And it's not a life or death situation. It's not like I can change my mind, right? And that's okay. And that experience will be valuable for whatever it is.
Yep, 100%. Awesome, Emily. You've been a wonderful guest, but now our time's coming to an end. So would you kindly just take a minute or two and share any parting remarks that you'd like to leave with our audience?
There's so many, but the biggest thing I think is that what is that 1% shift that you can make? For myself, it was, I don't want to be a person stuck in victimhood. And so I think, what are we committed to? Right? So I'm committed to inspiring and empowering myself and others, right? To make a positive impact. And when my life doesn't look the way I want it to or feel the way I want it to, I think, well, what am I committed to in this moment? Because maybe I've been committed more to the fear or the scarcity or whatever else. And just using that as a barometer and knowing that just a little shift in this direction, just a different perspective, a different look can change everything. Yeah. And life can be beautiful and joyful and loving in amongst all of the turmoil. That's all part of it. And we don't let the turmoil get us down. We can use it to spring off of, to bring more happiness and love and joy into the world.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Emily. I love how you've carved out a specialty niche of creating freedom through body movement. And I really admire your passion to empower people with a unique combination of body knowledge, functional movement, and the mental fortitude to make their body care a top priority so they can feel good for the rest of their lives. So thank you for sharing your powerful voice on our show.
Thank you so much. And it's been such a pleasure being here. And if I could just say one more little thing, riding off of what you just said, that is so true. When we are powerful in body, it's like we can act powerfully in the world, 100%. So thank you so much for highlighting that. It's been such a pleasure.
You bet. And now, folks, I know you've been thinking about donating. And if you were inspired again by today's show, please give what you can to WYTV7. They're a 501c3 charity on a mission to educate, empower, and encourage. They do good works with your kindness, and every little bit matters. A great big thank you to WYTV7 for hosting and promoting our show so we can keep reaching ordinary people ready to create their own extraordinary lives. A special thank you to our sponsors for the entire month of February, Third Rock Essentials and Happy Living. Remember, I'll donate 20% of every purchase for the entire month to WYTV7. So tell all your friends too. Go to happyliving.com, select Friends of Happy, and shop Third Rock. And most especially, thank you viewers and listeners. You'll find links to websites, social media, and all things Emily Webb. Find her, friend her, check out her online classes and memberships, apply for a free discovery session with her, and sign up for her Falling in Love with You event that starts next week. From me to you, dear friends, I love you and I want you to be happy. We do what we do on the Something Significant show to inspire you to live life to its fullest, to believe as I do that a better self is always possible today and every day for the rest of our lives. Now is your time. Be bold. If you're dreaming about it, then get on with it, for it's there on your special path, the one to your dream, your unique and distinctive journey. That's where you'll discover the way to make your mark of significance on the world. Till next time, I'm Matt Gersper. You are awesome, and this is the Something Significant show. And we're out. Mr. Happy Living here. I love entrepreneurs and artists and authors and innovators and people from every walk of life that have discovered their reason for being on this planet. And that's why I love hosting the Something Significant show with Matt Gersper on WYTV7 in Charlotte, North Carolina. As I define it, significance contains 4 elements: doing things you love, in places you love, with people you love, and creating something of value to others. Each week, I'll bring to you people that inspire me by living in their significance, or as I say in the show's tagline, ordinary people doing extraordinary things in the world. This season, I host a pro football player innovating senior living care, an intuitive energy healer from Spain, CEOs from Zona Plus and Dry Farm Wines, and many, many other amazing people. We explore success through something I call the happy formula. Capacity plus purpose equals happy. How do they build capacity? What did they do to discover their purpose? Most importantly, we discuss the real magic of life that comes from that 4th element of significance, doing work that creates value for others. It's fast, it's fun, and it's inspiring. I love hosting this show because I love inspiring others to make the most out of life. I hope I've inspired you to tune in every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on WYTV7. Until then, I'm Matt Gersper, and I'm wishing you every success in life that you can possibly imagine.